Okay, resetters, I am back again, and I just want you to know that for your benefit, I am stalking doctors today on Memorial Day. So I have with us Dr. Anna Cabeca, who graciously offered to jump on a live so that we can learn more about Keto Green, and I also want her to share how she fasts with all of you. So thank you, Dr. Anna, so much for being here.
I am thrilled to be here. Hey, resetters. I'm excited. I'll be looping in my Keto Green community to do this 5-day fast with us, this Keto Green fast. So I'm super excited to share it with you.
Yeah. So, and just, you and I talked yesterday about how what I'm encouraging people to do with this fast is to go 18 hours, practice that window, and then break it with a smoothie. And one of the smoothie options I gave them was your Keto Green, because a couple of different things. I love your idea around the alkalinity, but I love the convenience of just taking some powder and putting it in a smoothie and just drinking it. So how about we start off about Keto Green and give me a little background on what it is and why it is so important for our health.
Yeah, so the Keto Green, like my whole Keto Green concept is more than a diet, it's a lifestyle. Yes. And that's really, and it's a lifestyle personalized to you. It's not what works for me, it's what works for you. Yes. And this whole personalization process, this discovery process is so cool. Yep. And so one thing that I recognize, especially from the functional medicine perspective, is that alkalinization is so important. Alkaline vegetables, dark greens, right? Our broccoli sprouts. I mean, all these really highly nutrient-rich, nutrient-dense ingredients that help support our body eliminating toxins. This is especially important when we're fasting, coming off a fast, when we want to eliminate toxins that our body has been storing or has been exposed to. So that's been part of the, that big discovery of combining the concepts of alkalinization, which isn't just what we eat, it's also how we live, and stress is a huge acidifier. Yep. Huge. And then ketosis, getting our body into ketosis through fasting, through healthy fats, lower carbs, and choosing the lifestyle mechanisms to intermittently get us into a ketotic state as well.
Yeah. And that came up, that was actually a question on my video this weekend. Somebody asked, why is alkalinity important? So can you talk a little bit about that? Like, why do we want to achieve alkalinity?
Yeah, because really the research is pretty strong. So science has shown that when we look, we're measuring urinary pH, because when we're looking at our blood pH, that stays pretty darn stable. Yeah. And we've got to get really sick to move it up or down off of around 7.4. And then we are really sick. And as a surgeon and a gynecologist, if someone was crashing and I needed to measure their blood pH, we actually do arterial gas pH. And so we did, stick a needle into their artery to draw that blood, quickly from the heart to see what the pH is. Everywhere else is going to adjust. But right there, we want that to be slightly alkaline in the body, and we will rob Peter to pay Paul to keep that stable. So on a urinary pH tells us a little bit about what's happening through one of our major detox organs, the kidneys. And so through this mechanism, we can look at urinary pH very inexpensively, right? You've shared ketone test strips. I mean, just check your urine pH. You can get, pH paper and just check that way. But pH is important because one of the things we have to think about, well, research has shown that the higher urinary pH, 7.5, the decreased risk of metabolic syndrome, the decreased risk of osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hypertension, all of those are associated with a more if we carry a lifestyle that has a healthier alkaline pH, we are less likely to have diseases of aging, diseases of inflammation, right? We associate acidity, like think of New York City, a lot of industry, a lot of smoke, a lot of toxins, inflammation compared to alkalinity, think of the Amazon. And so we've got balance, right? Like we have to have a good workout and build up that acid so we can rebuild and strengthen the muscle, right? So we have to balance that acidity with alkalinity. And really we try to get up to 80% alkaline sources and nutrients as much as possible, at least be conscientious about that. And it makes a difference in how we think, how we feel, especially hormonally.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's dive into the Keto Green shake. The other common question we got was, what do I put with my Keto Green shake? So resetters, I have right here the developer of the Keto Green shake. So share with us what you put in it and what are some of your personal favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason, like, I've used different shakes over the year. I have my keto alkaline protein shake. The Keto Green protein shake I developed it as an accumulation of what I've used to kind of tease in my best glycemic control and nutrient dense ingredients, right? So when I came up with this Keto Green shake, I wanted to do a couple things. I want to make the protein also sourced from nuts and seeds like pumpkin, watermelon, sunflower seeds. I mean, so critical. There's also rice and pea protein, but we added in these others. Flax seeds are there too for fiber and fats, as well as MCT oil. So, but this is like, in each scoop, I'll tell you, each scoop is 14 grams protein, 3 grams of fat, and 0 grams of sugar. 0 grams of sugar. 2 Weight Watchers points for anyone who does weight loss.
That's awesome.
But the reason is, for some of us, you know, like I'll be 53 this year, right? 53 with an 11-year-old. Got to keep young. And so like everyone's metabolism is different. So looking at, you know, like you might need 2 scoops, you know, someone else might, you know, need more. But also this is a base for me. Sometimes I drink it just on its own, especially when I'm fasting and I just need that extra detoxification support or boost of energy. And I added in, you know, multivitamins and minerals, and in their activated form, like B6, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, right? B12, methylcobalamin. You know, it's a methylated folate, right? So like key ingredients plus other detoxifiers to help your body eliminate toxins through phase 2 detoxification. So I added those in here, and it makes a nice base. And so that's great. Mix it up with water. I added chocolate because I wanted it. And this is what I was doing on my own for the last 3 years, right? Kind of teasing it. And then you can add other things, like use it as a base. And if it's your break fast, add some broccoli sprouts, rich in SDS, rich in antioxidants, good for healthy breasts. So add your broccoli sprouts, add some kale, you know, add extra greens because we want to get as much greens as possible. And then if you're not getting alkaline on this diet, definitely read my book. I have a whole chapter, troubleshooting chapter in the Hormone Fix.
Her book is awesome, by the way. I'm a huge fan. So I would totally endorse that book. It's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So there's a whole chapter on why you're not getting alkaline, because during this, you know, Mindy, I know I've heard your video and you're like, you guys got to get alkaline, check your urine pH. Let's see what this does for you.
Yeah.
So add your alkalinizer. So today I put out some cucumber, and if I wanted to, could add some, you know, cocoa nibs for other chocolate fans out there. So,
awesome.
You know, let's add some, it is Memorial Day. Let's add some cocoa nibs. You could add extra nuts. Or extra, you could do a nut butter. It's a Georgia nut butter. We love Georgia pecan cashew butter. Or you can add MCT oil. So MCT oil is pretty, you know, I mean, that's great, especially if you're hungry. Add extra oil, add extra fats. But watch what you're doing, because you can definitely do too much. For me, the 1 scoop of shake will only raise my blood sugar 15 to 20 points. That's it, over an hour. So I know what it's doing because I'm measuring, right?
Yeah, and that's, you bring up a really good point. Like, to measure, I always say take a measurement before you drink something, drink it. And then like in a bigger product like this, I would say an hour later would be great. So then you know what it's doing. You know, what's really interesting is I keep talking about this. I know that you're on the Women's Summit, that we've interviewed you and you're a part of that. I got the opportunity to interview Dr. Terry Walls on Monday. I know, right? Like, it's like super fan.
Inspirational.
Yeah. So you know what she said is that in order for us to stay healthy, she recommends we get over 200 different variety of plants. So as you were just talking there, I was like counting in my head. I'm like, that's awesome, because the Keto Green is going to be like 1 scoop. I don't know how many different varieties are in there, but you just rambled off a whole bunch of ones that I'm not going to get from my supermarket.
Yeah, and then add in Mighty Maca with another 30 superfoods, right? I mean, so that's something, again, I created it for myself, and then now it's, you know, widespread internationally. But it's that adding that extra scoop or 2 can just really help, especially for the anti-inflammatory. It was interesting. So we are just, I know, we are two like minds, y'all. We said, you've got an amazing person here. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I was just talking to Dr. Lisa Mosconi, thanks to your introduction. And
Awesome.
One thing she said is that long-term on the ketogenic diet can have adverse neurologic effects.
Yep.
And so I think the missing piece again is this alkalinity factor. And also you bump in, you bump out. So I put some Georgia organic blueberries here because now I wouldn't use blueberries to break my fast, but I would use them in an evening meal because I'm adding those carbs. But I could too if I'm like high ketones or I'm definitely a feasting day or I'm not worried about ketosis, because these like a few blueberries, that's not going to take me out of ketosis. But I know because I'm watching my ketones.
Right. Yeah, that's why you got to measure. And before we launch into how you personally fast, I want to point something out because I know I'm going to get this question in the resetters. If you guys are monitoring your alkalinity through the pH strips and at the end of the week, you're not alkaline, what I just heard you say is go check out your book because you have a troubleshooting chapter. So I really want people to know that it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that the principles don't work. It means that there's a deeper reason and you need to go searching for it. Yeah. So I want to point that out. Yeah.
And it's so huge because it could be stress. It can be food sensitivities. It can be dehydration. It can be, there's so many inflammation, maybe you've been doing a high blood glucose on average. It can be many of these things that can affect you with alkalinity. So that's
agreed. So, okay, now share with us. So the theme of this week is a fasting lifestyle. And what I want a lot of people to see is that there's no wrong way to fast. There's a lot of really cool ways. And those of us that are in the functional medicine world, we live this and we're not just leading it, we're living it. So can you talk about how you personally fast? Do you intermittent fast? Do you do long water fast? How do you use fasting in your life?
Yeah, so I do it all, right? Like I will rotate in and out, but I have a 10-80-10 rule, Mindy. Okay. So I have 10% like fasting, like strict fasting, 80% keto green, that's with intermittent fasting at least 13 to 15 hours, no snacking in between meals, right? So 80% keto green and then 10% feasting. So that's kind of my rhythm. And, maybe there's feasting days consecutively as well as fasting days consecutively. But that's kind of my rhythm. And Sundays are typically a fasting day for me because that's spiritual day. I really want to focus on that, get clear, put my intentions forth for a good week and move forward that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. And that's come up in many discussions I've had with people is just about how it clears your mind, how it connects you to just a higher intelligence. There's so many other reasons other than the physical to fast. So I love that you do that on Sundays. So, okay, last thought that I think would just be really great for my community. And then I know we're going to share this on your community and you and I both are of that belief that everybody wins when this information gets out. So think about the person who's new to fasting and they're struggling and they try 12 hours, 13 hours, and they're like, this sucks. I do not know what these people are talking about. Yeah. What would you say? What tips do you have for the person new to fasting?
Go slow. It is a muscle. There is a fasting muscle. It takes time to get here, right? It takes time to get here. You and I have done extended fasting. I've done, extended dry fasting. It's a fasting muscle. You have to get there. And so especially if you're not feeling good, add the detoxifiers, get extra detoxification support. That's critical. In my book, I have a medical symptom toxicity questionnaire. And that's crucial. Look at your score. What do you need? Maybe you need extra antioxidants, the milk thistle, the quercetin, the turmeric. Maybe you need these additional phase 2 detoxifiers, the methylators, the sulfators. You need additional support to what you're doing in your diet. Don't push it. It's a marathon and not a sprint. Take time and listen to what your body's telling you. We are designed to have fasting periods and to do well. And the older we get, the more important it is so that our body can regenerate itself, do what it's been beautifully designed to do. And in this healing mechanism, and again, we're going to go through different stages throughout the year. If there's a lot of anxiety and stress and angst about it, shooting up cortisol. That's going to defeat you. And also know that the hormones ghrelin, the hunger hormone, it's also, we've got to become more sensitive to that hormone. So, and more sensitive to leptin, the satisfying hormone. So we've got to recognize that, it's just going to take time to recondition what we've been doing all our life, but give it time.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. And if you guys want to know more about Dr. Anna and the conversations we've had, you can go check out Resetter TV. We interviewed her. We brought her on the Women in Wellness podcast. So I always learn something from you. So thank you for on your Memorial Day, like sitting with me and having this conversation. And then thank you for being present in the Resetter group. What I'm asking my resetters to do is if they have a question for you, just to put it in the thread of this video. They can maybe tag you in it if you don't mind. And then if you have the time or you feel the motivation to jump in there, that would be awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I'm excited for our Keto Green community. And one big question, Mindy, that we get in our community, what breaks a fast, right? And we've discussed this back and forth a lot, and it can be different. Technically anything you put into your mouth breaks a fast. But then there's some, there's some some things. So tell us what your experience has been with breaking fast.
Yeah, I think when it comes to drinks like coffee, I think you should always test it because it's different for everybody. Mm-hmm. I think the best
test the blood sugar, see if it rises, and how much is a positive test.
So I always say take a blood sugar reading. Then drink the drink you're going to drink. And then a half hour later, take another blood sugar reading. If your blood sugar goes up, then you broke the fast. If it stays the same or goes down, then that actually is pretty good for you.
So I think, that's how I am. And I think is it 10 points? Is it 20 points, or it's any raise? But also stress can cause your blood sugar to go up. Even if you're not eating anything, just the whole concept of being stressed and cortisol shooting up can cause your blood sugar to go up. So we need to look at that too. I know. And most of the time with Mighty Maca, my blood sugar stays stable, but sometimes it will go up a little, 10 points. So again, something to watch. But my big thing is when we are getting up in the morning after fasting is that we want to remove toxins as quickly as possible. So drink a good glass of alkaline water, add some lemon juice, So I think that's a really key thing. But check your urine pH, check your ketones, see what bumps you in, bumps you out. You can check blood glucose and blood ketones. I use Keto Mojo. I don't know what you use, but there's different monitors you can check too to see. So that can help you. But most importantly, get your urine pH alkaline, especially during this week. So he said working up to an 18-hour fast and then drinking Keto Green shake in your fasting window, as well as lots of greens during your non-fasting window. And see how you guys feel with that. A few options, play with it. I know some people in the Resetters tribe, I've read you're doing starting with a smoothie day and then going to 3 days of water fasting and then ending with a smoothie day. So that's another good option. This is a muscle though. It's not something to jump into if you haven't been exercising your fasting muscle. So we definitely want to do that. So I think that's it. Watch what happens. Well, Dr. Pells, is there anything else we want to say? We'll try the sign language. Thank you guys. And again, sharing this with our Keto Green community, meet the Resetter tribe, and we're excited to move this forward. So 5 days, Keto Green smoothies, working on that fasting 16 to 18 hour window, with a 6-hour eating window, and really get alkaline. Do what you can do to get alkaline during that window. Journal, see how you feel. This may work for you, this may not, but this is all part of the discovery process. All right, you guys, thank you from me and Dr. Mindy. We love you. Cheers, comment below.
Hey, Dr. Mindy here, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it out to the world. I'm trying to get really cutting-edge health information into people's hands. And if you want to see more videos like this, just subscribe to my channel and you'll get updates as to when I go live and new videos that I put out there. Every Thursday, by the way, I do a live video from here and answer your questions. So if there are questions you want me to answer, join me then and I'll make sure that I address them. Thanks. Have an awesome day.